해외에 거주하고 있는 한국인들이 한 펜실베니아 학교 강의실에서 한국의 교육이 어떠한지, 얼마나 힘들고 열정적인지 이야기하고 있습니다. 전 세계에서 알아줄 만큼 한국은 교육열에 대한 열정이 대단합니다. 사실 한국이 이렇게 교육에 목매게 된 이유가 있습니다. 한국은 다른 나라처럼 에너지원이 풍부하지 않습니다. 땅이 좁고 인구도 적어 나라가 발전하기 위해서는 오직 머릿속에 있는 아이디어를 만들어내는 것뿐이었죠. 하지만 모든 일에는 긍정적인 면만 있는 게 아니라 부정적인 면도 있죠. 혁명이라 부를 정도로 경제적으로 성장한 한국의 이면에는 오직 교육에 매몰된 아이들이 있습니다. 하기 싫은 공부를 어렸을 때부터 자유시간 하나도 없이 보내는 한국 아이들이 대부분인데요. 지금부터 시작하겠습니다.
And if you look at those numbers there, South Korea in 1965, the GDP is 3.1 billion, and now it's 1.8 trillion. Korea, in 1965, the economy was, the country of Ghana was wealthier than Korea. The country of Algeria was wealthier than Korea. Dude, Tunisia was wealthier than Korea. And now Korea is the 10th largest economy in the world. And so if you don't think about, you don't have to think about a lot really, right? But just that alone, if you have any interest in really kind of understanding, global issues or the war, anything at all, that alone would lead me as a sociologist to say, damn, I was first interested or introduced to Korea back in the mid-'80s through some of the early to mid-'80s when I had some graduate student friends from Seoul. And I started to really kind of dig into Korean geopolitics and economics and familiarize myself with the culture and a lot of things. And so, I became just fascinated by Korea. And I have watched it, over the course of the past 40 years just expand. And so the other side is that whenever a country, if something grows as quickly as Korea has grown and expands, it's never going to happen evenly. It's going to be very, very difficult for Korea to overcome. And by the way, can I see a raise of hands? Like, how many of you are aware of Korea's cultural positioning in the world? Like the Korean wave, like food and music and K-dramas and K-film and so on and so forth, K-fashion and K-beauty and everything K-gaming and K-animation. Like, how many of you are really aware of Korea's position in the world? Raise your hands high. I just want to really see you. And out of curiosity, how many of you have heard of BTS? Huh. And how many of you have heard of Blackpink? I want to talk about a couple things that are going to frame the conversation we have today. Korea is one of the most educated countries in the world. And we often talk about populations of people who are 25 to 34. And that's because, you've had enough time to get through college. About 70% of Koreans aged 25 to 34 have 4-year college degrees. And the U.S. is 40%. And there's another certain percentage of people in the U.S. that have 2-year degrees, but 40%. And then look at Germany, Saudi Arabia. I put Saudi Arabia because there are so many Saudis in here. And China, Nigeria. What do you do? Like, what's going on in Korea with education? And what's it mean? And so this is what I want to talk about this today. Hell Joseon. Can you guys talk about this a little bit? I gave some of the data. I laid a few things out. Can you talk about, have you heard of this before?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. Can you all talk about this?
It's like a term because you've all seen it, how expensive it is to afford an apartment in Seoul, the capital. And it's really it's where most people would want to live in, have a job, have their housing. But because it's so competitive to get a job or even a good life there, we kind of call it hell Joseon.
Hey, how do you say hey?
It's like hell Joseon. Yeah.
Hey, should we say what Joseon is?
So Korea basically started from Joseon dynasty, and during the period, like South Korea was definitely harsh. And like these days, since it is like still very competitive to live there, we have like compound words, which is like combination of Hell plus Joseon Dynasty, just as back then.
The Joseon Dynasty was about 500 years.
Yeah.
And everything what we know about Korea today largely came together in the Joseon Dynasty.
Yeah.
Can we talk about these? Like, tell people what these hagwons are. Like, what is this?
Okay, so hagwon is like academic lessons that students take after school. It may be just tutor and or just normal lessons from another professionals. So, like Koreans are like, they're really into education. So going to more than 3 hagwons per day or like maybe 5, it's really normal for Koreans.
To add on, there are like districts of hagwons. So there are different districts within Seoul. Some of them, there are hagwons populated within the district. So the street would be full of buildings, and within the building, there will be full of hagwons, like for math, science, English, foreign languages. There will be hagwon for literally anything, any subject you can think of.
Okay, so hang on. So let's be clear here. You go to school, then you have lunch, and you go to afternoon school. Yeah?
In some tutoring, if you get, they test you, and then if you don't get like high scores, they don't send you home. So
wait, so you get like locked into a hagwon?
So like basically a few days I couldn't go to home, like in the 3 or 4 in the morning.
Wait, so you're paying, your parents are paying for this, right? Your parents pay for this. The hagwons you pay for.
Yeah. Like, so basically 2 or 3 in the morning maybe, but during my middle school year, the law got changed. Hagwon cannot, hold students until like 10 o'clock. So basically every hagwon should end at 10 o'clock. But, there's the other way. They get apartments in the private, and then they collect students. And then they hold students until like 2 or 3 in the morning. So basically, law doesn't mean anything.
Wait, hang on. Can someone, Junho, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, so there was a restriction from the government not to like block students until 10 p.m. So hagwons, they started to gather people at real like private places, like Do-hyung mentioned, or some hagwons, they opened at 4 a.m. So like students would wake up at 3 a.m. and start their hagwon at 4 a.m.
Before they go to school?
Yeah, before they go to school, because the regulation, like they can't stay until hagwon for 10 p.m. So
they start early?
Yeah, they started early.
About 83% of Korean 5-year-olds go to hagwons. And about 36% of Korean 2-year-olds go to hagwons. Dude, so we're not talking 2-year-olds aren't going 5 days a week till 2 in the morning. I mean, the average, this was one particular study, the average is like, like 2 sessions a week. And for 5-year-olds, it's like 50-minute sessions 5 days a week. But the point is, you're doing tutoring. 83%, this is 83% of the Korean population. And here's what would happen. I just want to be clear about something. If 70% of American 25 to 34-year-olds had college degrees, trust me, you all would be going to hagwons also, because you'd be competing. As it is, when you graduate from Penn State, you have the idea, okay, you're going to find a job. But if you were competing with twice as many people with college degrees here or back home, wherever you're from, if you're not from the United States, you'd be tutoring. You'd be like trying to elevate your, get your game together, man.
So since y'all came to America and stuff, how was the transition, like with y'all heavy schedule learning in Korea? How was the transition for the schedule of American learning? How easy was that for y'all?
Dude, Junho just woke up like an hour ago, man. He didn't even, he's like dealing with his sleep deprivation. So this is soju, by the way. Soju, if you don't know, Soju's the most popular spirit in the world by far. Tell us what has to happen. What's going on here?
Okay, so I may not be alright, but generally, it has to be adult, like pouring me soju first, because I can't drink it by myself.
So you can't drink it by yourself. So the oldest person?
Yeah, so you have to.
So you receive it like that?
You have to use your both hands to receive.
To receive?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then when younger ones pour drink to elders, they have to use both hands too. You don't have to use both hands.
And do you have to keep in the label? Can I see the?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you have these. So you have two other people here. So but you pour me first because I'm the elder, right? Okay. But what about them? Who pours for them?
Whoever.
It doesn't matter?
Maybe by myself.
So like it's okay, like you know, Leah and I are like friends, so it's okay to like give soju like this. But if I'm giving it to like you or like someone older than adult, I have to be like very polite.
Okay. If I'm gonna drink,
Mm-hmm.
We're
So
gonna drink.
You hold your glass, and since you're an adult, my glass has to be lower than yours. So I just go like.
and the same with. Okay.
And you get to.
Well, we
So I drink first?
So suppose we did cheers. You can drink it whatever you want, but
Yeah.
I have to turn my back and drink it like this.
to cover the glass.
I cover the glass?
No.
He does.
Yeah, I have to turn my
Does
back.
he have to do that also?
Well, if you're drinking with Sam,
You're younger than me, bro, so you have to turn away. Turn away from the white guy, bro. All right?
you guys get close while drinking together.
How would I let him make a toast? No, you gotta be below mine. Okay. You guys, and you turn away again? You always turn away? Oh, wrong. That's awesome. Then that's how you feel like you're king. You know what I mean? Wait till you're really the old. So if he was the oldest here, then you would turn away from him. Dude, I want you to feel that. All right, man. You got a toast. You're up above. Don't forget that.
Oh, that feel good.
All right, there we go. Dude, how's that feel, man? It's awesome, isn't it? Dude.
전반적으로 미국에 있는 사람들은 한국의 교육 수준이 너무 높기 때문에 미국의 상위권 대학이 한국의 하위권 대학과 비슷하다고 생각하고 있다고 합니다. 그리고 이후에 한국의 주도 문화를 체험하는데 여기서 교수님이 하는 말이 와닿았습니다. 왕이 된 기분이다. 이 말을 빗대어 한국 문화를 생각하면 아무래도 자유로운 분위기인 외국인과 유교 사상이 깊은 한국의 문화의 차이를 여기서 보게 되었네요. 한국에서는 정말 당연한 문화지만 미국인이 체험했을 때는 왕이 된 기분을 느끼다니 말이죠.